Hello, my people. Welcome to another story. Today we're telling a story about a cowboy. Me. I didn't say I was a good cowboy, but I was a cowboy. When I was younger, I loved going to my aunt and uncle's house because they had what us city folks would call a farm. I don't believe they actually grew anything, so perhaps it's not a farm, but I'm not, that's why I'm one of the city folks. They had this awesome house with a giant front yard and a tree house in the front. As you go around, there was a building that was no walls and just you stored hay under it. I assume its title was the hay storage facility, but I don't know. And then right next to that was the stables, which is where the horses like to hang out in the stables. Did you guys know that? I'm here to educate. You're welcome. You're welcome. This was an amazing place for a child to go to, especially if you're used to concrete and streetlights. Now you've got the nighttime sky, all of the exploration. I didn't learn much while I was out there, but I explored and it was fun. Also, when I was a child, I watched every Western with my grandfather that you can think of. Everything from The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance all the way up to Tombstone and everything in between, I saw it and I wanted to be a cowboy. A cowboy. So naturally, when I discovered that my uncle had a horse, I need to ride that. I begged him to let me ride the horse, and he told me some rigmarole about, you don't know how to ride a horse, and you've never ridden a horse, and I was like, blah, 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 make me a cowboy. So he saddles up the horse, and I hop on, and immediately as I slide into that saddle, I feel like Doc Holliday. I'm your Huckleberry. He takes the reins and begins to walk the horse, and I'm just like, oh. As we get out to the middle of the pasture, I am triumphant on my noble steed, and I'm not actually sure if female horses are called, because she was the mom horse. I don't know if I mean I wanted a steed, so she was mama steed, and her child, I believe we call them colts, comes running at Mach 2 out of the stables on a collision course with mom, and she runs up and just a glancing blow, and I'm sure that mom didn't even feel it, you know, it was nothing. But my leg, which happened to be right in between the two horses, felt like it had been shattered into a billion pieces. And I'm sitting there in pain, but not wanting to reveal my pain because I'm a cowboy. I'm a cowboy. That wasn't very cowboy-esque. Here, I was a cowboy. My uncle begins to turn back, and I say what is obviously the most wise thing I could have said, which is, I've got this. Give me the reins. My uncle, being the wise one in the scenario, says, no, you don't know what you're doing. I said, I've got this. Give me the reins. Being a fan of letting people learn the hard way, he hands me the reins. I begin to get the horse going. Good job, noble steed, good job. Oh man, now I feel like John Wayne, Clint Eastwood, nobody is my name. Here's where the story as well as the horse kind of takes its own lead. My uncle's pasture was in the shape of a triangle. Good old 90-degree right triangle. You had the stables right here, fence right here, all the way down, okay? And then over here, the third part that makes the triangle-y part, right? Okay. On the other side was another pasture where a bunch of other horses hung out. Turns out she kind of liked hanging out with the other horses. And did you know that horses know if you don't know what they know if you don't know what you're doing? Did you know that? Because I did not know that. I'm trying to make her go to the top of the triangle, and she goes, I want to go hang with my peeps. So she just goes, and I'm like, no, this way. And she's like, not having it, child. Which I translated from, now we're walking over, and all the other horses are running up to the fence. Okay, well, I mean, what's the worst that could happen, you know? We can't get past the fence. As we get up to the side of the triangle, there's a ditch. Oh boy. Well, let's go through the ditch, Trigger. She walks down into the ditch and up the other side, and there's not a lot of room on the other side. We are right there, and there's other horses there, and my uncle's yelling like, Matt, come back, come on, come on, come back, come back. Come on, hey, you horse, come on, I'm a cowboy. She kind of turns, and then her attitude was kind of like, fine, we'll go back. But guess what? I'm the captain now. I tried to make her go back through the ditch, which is how we got there. I don't know what her problem was. She didn't want to do that. She had zero desires actually for ditch walking. She jumps the ditch. Well, I am completely not prepared for ditch jumping in this moment in time. Naturally, this throws me way off because, hey, now we're airborne. And as we land, apparently, accidentally, as though I knew that I was doing it, my heels clicked her side. Well, that was all the encouragement she needed because she knew that I didn't know what I had just done. But what I did know was that trouble was lurkething, and oh boy. She takes off like a rocket ship powered by 1 horsepower, which was more than fast enough for me. The galloping starts happening. I would love to tell you that my face was like stoic cowboy, like, but I think it was actually more like, because as she's running, I do not actually know the rhythm in the saddle, and I'm bouncing around, and then all of a sudden the reins are gone. I don't know where the reins have gone, but there is a saddle horn there, and I will hold on to it with everything that my little body can hold on to. I just grab a hold of that thing, and we're just... She literally runs around the entire pasture with me screaming at the top of my lungs. One of my most favorite things about my uncle is when something happens, he just busts up laughing. He has one of the best laughs on the planet. She finally comes to a stop, and the only sound I can hear, aside from my own heartbeat trying to crack through my sternum, is my uncle's laugh in the distance, just roaring laughter. In that moment, it was not appreciated. Not one bit. I didn't even try to get the reins back. I slid off of the horse. I backed away reverently like a cowboy, turned around, and slowly walked back. My uncle was ecstatic that I didn't fall off the horse. He was also very happy for all the joy that I provided him. I learned a very valuable lesson that day. You can look the part, you can talk the part, you can even hop on a horse and be riding the part, but that does not make you a cowboy. You have to actually be a cowboy to be a cowboy, or like me, have the heart of a cowboy, and then you can be a cowboy. Check out the website, the1910.com. You can click the button that says Wears for wearing. You can get some of our 1910 gear or even one of the Hello My People shirts. If you haven't yet, click that subscribe button and then click the like, because thumbs up is thumbs up. Have a fantastic week, and as always, keep telling stories.